tell me, what were you doing with Kanade earlier?
Yukimura, I can't thank you enough for what you did.
I wasn't doing what you thought I was doing! It was an emergency situation!
So you're saying that if it's an emergency, it's okay? You couldn't help her any other way?
Listen, Kanade, will you try explaining it to her?
Huh? Try explaining what?
Himuro saw the thing we did before the presentation!
The thing we did before? What thing? No! It isn't what you're thinking! My spirit was crushed! He had no choice! It had absolutely nothing to do with romance or anything like that! Besides, I have zero interest in this pain in the butt 4 eyes!
Hey now! That's not exactly helping anything!
I'm telling the truth. There is nothing for you to worry about, Himuro.
I know that. I don't think you would have done anything wrong. What I do think, and what I cannot forgive, is that he can so easily do that to a young woman and then be dishonest about it. After all, I want only to hold him in my arms, too.
Wait, I'm telling you, it was a kind of extreme measure of a sort of emergency technique.
And that means you can hug whomever you feel like? What kind of excuse is that? Any port in a storm, huh?
You know, I don't think that's what she's so angry about.
Hey, guys. So, what'd you think? Was that some...
That close contact experiment? You left right in the middle.
Well, there were unforeseen circumstances.
What kind of unforeseen circumstances?
are they fighting for real?
Don't have an answer for that, right? And afterwards, all you did was concentrate on Kanade and her presentation. And then... Huh? And to top it all off, you did what you did to her! We still need to do our experiments, and you just... The pairing experiments were the same, weren't they? You got all excited over anyone. Wait, what am I saying? In the end, that's all it is. Admit it, Yukimura. Any woman'll do for you!
No! All right, Himuro, that's quite enough. So in your opinion, an underclassman preparing a presentation doesn't count so long as we can run our experiments? I should have just left Kanade in that state and let her flounder through her presentation?
Well, no, of course not.
I haven't behaved with Kanade in a manner I should be ashamed of in any way. However, even if Kanade and I had done something, what are your grounds for taking issue with it? It isn't as if you and I are dating.
That's true. Strictly speaking, I guess you're right. After all, it isn't as if we're dating, are we?
Okinawan pork rib soup was so yummy. The dolphin show's so cool. Yeah! Now that we finished our presentations, there's nothing left to worry about.
Exactly my thoughts. After studies are over, we get to play and give it all we got.
Now we can finally enjoy Okinawa. Everybody, come on!
What do we do? At this rate, all our research training camp fun will go down the drain. Isn't there something you can do about it, Ibarata?
Well, how about just leaving it alone? They argue all the time anyway. Just chill out. They'll get over it.
I hope that you're right, because otherwise...
If they begin to talk, they'll patch things up quicker than you think. Let's go. Come on. Just leave the two of them alone.
I sure hope they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yukimura, do you have any idea why I'm angry with you right now?
Whoa, there's that question. So many men have answered that question wrong and made women even angrier. It's practically legendary.
Huh? What did they say?
If the man says, I don't know,
Well, figure it out!
and if the man asks, why are you so angry?
Because of what you did, got it?
Then if he gives the correct reason for her anger, well,
If you knew, then why the hell did you do it anyway?
that's just how it goes. Any answer the questioned man can give will be wrong. Yukimura, how are you gonna answer her?
The act of me hugging Kanade accounts for approximately 34%. I think that the declaration "it isn't as though we're dating" accounts for about 30%. Also, other factors such as ill humor associated with menstrual cycle. Of course, these are generalized estimates.
Clear that you comprehend nothing. You're showing at least a 0.8 relative error. And as for ill humor associated with menstrual cycle, that accounts for absolutely 0%. And including such an itemized list, that accounts for 43% of my current anger, which you have now exacerbated.
Wait a second! If I'm so wrong, why don't you show me the evidence? Hey, Himuro!
Evidence. Look it up in a dictionary, Bear.
Now let's look at relative error. Here, we have 10 grams of boogers, okay? But when stupid humans measure the way they measure stuff is so inept and imprecise that it ends up being 11 grams. In this case, the measurement error from the theoretical weight of the boogers is 1 gram. This error is called absolute error. In comparison, relative error is a ratio expressing the relationship of the absolute value to the theoretical value. In the case of these boogers, the relative error is 0.1. In the case of the relative error of 0.8 Himuro mentioned, if you measured boogers that should weigh 10 grams, it means the measuring was so bad you got a weight of 18. This is useless gum too, Bear.
Hey there, bud. Feeling a little under the weather, Yukimura?
I made her angry again, but I don't understand the problem. I mean, if you exclude ill humor associated with an upcoming menstruation, the other details couldn't have been so wrong. Shifting the reason for her anger and time makes estimation difficult.
I kinda get the feeling that's not the problem.
Himuro,
Yeah, Kanade?
are you okay?
What did I just do? Asking him, do you know why I'm angry? Why did I go and ask him such a pointless question? It just made me seem idiotic and annoying. Yukimura must hate me now.
You asked before you even thought about it, right? It's okay. Stuff like this just happens.
A question so difficult to respond to. I can't even present any evidence, and this isn't an intellectual approach at all.
These people are just too weird.
Why fight here? Its numerical value wasn't that bad. Then I said, quote, "What are your grounds for taking issue with it? It isn't as if you and I are dating." Immediately following, Himuro struck my left cheek with her open right hand 3.4 seconds later with a hint of tears in her eyes. She said, "Strictly speaking, I guess you're right. It isn't as if we're dating after all, are we?" That's the essence of the recent confrontation. So, where do you believe the problem lies?
Honestly, it's gotta be that last thing you mentioned. That was definitely your biggest mistake. If I ever fumbled like that when I was playing with Aika, I'd get a bloodbath ending.
But you told me that you were in love!
That bad, huh? Based on the situation, I also believe that statement to be the primary factor, but Himuro herself acknowledges that. It's the same for the way I handled Kanade. I simply haven't done anything wrong here.
Yeah, well, everything you've said is true. And everything's logical when you come down to it, but, you know, there are times in this world when presenting a sound argument just isn't a good idea.
Himuro,
Huh? What's going on, Kanade?
I'm really sorry. Because of me, you and Yukimura are now... I never thought things would turn out this way. I just don't know how to apologize to you.
I told you, Kanade, none of this is your fault.
But it's because Yukimura spent all that time with me that this happened.
But thanks to that time, your presentation went wonderfully. You want to know the truth? I really understand now. Yukimura was actually never to blame for anything. The truth is, I just went and got angry all on my own. When he said that it wasn't like we talkative, and before I knew it, I hit him. In this state, I don't suppose you could call it love.
You're so wrong!
Huh?
It's the opposite! It's because you love him that you felt like that. It's happened to me too, you know? Being jealous because the person I love's looking at someone else, or getting angry because they don't feel the same way I do.
Oh,
That's love. It does that kind of thing to you.
really? That's what it is? In that case... To be honest, this was a bit of a blind spot. An American psychologist named Berkshire said that romantic emotions must include both love and hate together. Up until this point, we've only been focusing on emotions of affection, but in romance there are negative emotions as well. If we categorize them as contradictory emotions, then I knew it. From the moment of our argument today, the results on my contradictory emotion counter have risen dramatically. If we can establish that this phenomenon is repeatable, then it may prove to be the key to finding the conditions of love.
And what precisely would that entail?
Then we take the amount I want to knee him in the face, turn that into a fixed quantity, and apply it to our study.
What? Don't tell me you're really okay with that.
I'm not, but it's this feeling of not being okay. And the depression I felt all day, it might just prove to be a new lead in our research. Yes, and first thing tomorrow, I'll have to discuss this with Yukimura and... I forgot, we're in the middle of a fight.
Tomorrow, why don't you and Yukimura do what you can to patch things up? I'm sure he wants things to go back to normal as much as you do. And I want to see the two of you go back to the way you always were, having fun, doing your research together.
Yes, you're right. I'm positive we'll be able to reconcile.
Oops, I'm so sorry, Himuro. I spilled my water, and it totally wasn't on purpose.
Anyway, that complicated-looking book you're reading's all clean now. Makes it easier to...
There's no need to apologize. Did you know bullying also exists among animals other than humans?
Huh?
There are instances of chimpanzees grouping together to attack. There's a tendency for goldfish to attack weaker individuals. A group rejection of weaker non-conforming members is a natural instinct of any living organism. Even humanity, equipped with the power of reason, retains vestiges of that. Your engaging in that type of behavior aligns your intellect with that of lower animals. That's the way things are.
Huh? She's got a lot of nerve. Just because she's smarter and cuter than we are, she makes me sick.
Himuro, please, would you like to go out?
I'm sorry. I guess I don't really understand romance, and I'm not particularly interested.
Oh, sure, of course. I guess a guy like me would never be a good match for you anyway. See you around.
Love. That's what everyone my age was thoroughly obsessed with. Everyone but me. I just didn't understand them. Thurston's beautiful geometrization conjecture was far more attractive to me. I was fine the way I was. I couldn't force myself to want to be with someone or fall in love. I didn't need those things. I was all right on my own. I corrected my physical appearance and always moved forward boldly, with beauty and dignity. That's all I wanted. But now, I really, really want to make up with Yukimura. Welcome to the first of the Making Up with Yukimura strategy sessions.
We're gonna figure out how to be friends again.
I apologize. I should not have asked you to join the discussion, Yamamoto.
No trouble at all. I was happy to come over and hang with you guys.
I asked Ibarata too because I thought she might like to participate, but she turned me down.
Well, that's a shame, but we'll have to move on without her.
I know we've just started, but I had an idea. What if you gave him a present? What do you think?
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. If wait, I just know it'll work out.
You're right. By precisely plotting out my feelings with no lies or prevarications, Pareto optimization could be used to find a point of equilibrium between our assertions. I can compile everything into a sort of apology thesis and give it to Yukimura along with the present. It'll be perfect.
I kind of figured things would turn out like this, but, well, we are talking about Yukimura, so I guess it's okay.
All right, then in that case, we have to go right out and buy a present!
Yeah!
It's such a strange thing. I was always fine on my own, and now, for the sake of a connection with another person, I've become so desperate. But then, I met him. Spent time with him, researched with him, did all kinds of things with him. And for the first time, being with someone made me feel happy. That's why I was really looking forward to this trip. Going to a tropical island with Yukimura for the first time. Spending time there. I got my hopes up a little, but the reality was different.
A glasses case. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Yukimura doesn't really pay much attention to his glasses. The affinity index on this seems like it'd be high.
Uh-huh. And it looks like they inscribe names and things on them.
Really? That's perfect. It's all my fault. I threw the experiment into disarray and got angry over trivial things. Tomorrow our trip ends, but Yukimura and I haven't accomplished anything yet. Just give me another 30 minutes and I'll have the thesis finished.
If you can pull off a stunt like that, you're amazing.
Let's hope it's not already too late. I'll fix this, because I want to do something beautiful on this trip. Together.
This wrapping doesn't really give much of a gift feel.
I have pens and things in my room. I'll go decorate it.
Such a manga artist.
Okay then, wish me luck, all right?
You go, girl.
Hang in there, okay?
Yukimura, I wonder if he'll forgive me. Will I be happy when I tell him?
I don't know where he is. He went out just a second ago. He said he was going down to the ocean, so I guess he's outside. Himuro!
Will we ever be able to go back to normal, researching together and doing experiments? Ah! Huh? Whether this feeling is love or not still hasn't been decided, but if it's allowed for someone like me, someone who's always been alone, then
Himuro?
here, it's for you. It's how I truly feel about you. But how? How could it have? Forget it happened. I'm sorry. Why? Why is it broken? When did it... Was it when I fell? Why doesn't anything on this trip work out right? Because it's not possible for someone like me who always pushed others away to do something like this after all this time. Don't confuse causation with correlation. I am a science type. Calm down. Just think about this logically. Correct your physical appearance and always move forward boldly with beauty and dignity. That's what I have to do.
You're cute as always today, Aika. You know that? Oh, there you are. Welcome back. You know, Himuro stopped by a minute ago.
I know she did.
Well, what happened?
I'll now commence reconciliation with Himuro. Quickly and completely.